everybody, and welcome to our third episode of TNT Tabletop. And we're gonna kind of pick up where we were yesterday. What happened? We had our prospector and our outlaw go into a mine and just get wrecked. Only 3 rooms in. The outlaw couldn't make a single shot against a group of bone eaters. Out of 23 shots, I think he got like what, three? And then, of course, the prospector was doing pretty good up to a certain point, and then I realized today that I kind of screwed up on some of the rules. I wasn't using his combat rating. I should be rolling 2 instead of 1 dice. So I had better chances of killing those things than I thought. But the outlaw, I was doing it right, and he's just. I'm going to turn down the volume here for a second on this guy. It's a little bit loud. But anyway, so we went into this mine. The prospector and the outlaw just kind of went down a hallway, and then at the end of the hallway, they ran into a room where they were ambushed by a bunch of bone eaters, and the bone eaters did exactly what they if their name implies. Uh, so the outlaw went down, got an injury on the chart, which caused him to go from initiative 4 to initiative 3. And the prospector, unfortunately, was still holding all 7 pieces of the dark stone that we had and failed like 4 rolls. He already had 1 corruption on him, so that dropped him. That straight up gave him a mutation, and yeah, the mutation. So basically, the dark stone is radiated, and it just basically burnt his nose off. So every time we go to town now, he has to roll, I think twice on the town event check, and he gets the worst of the 2 rolls. So 'cause people just they see this dude with a burnt nose, they think mutant, which I guess But either way, so I kind of figured that since it hasn't been going to, well, the first time we played, we went through, did really well. This time was terrible. I felt like we needed a little bit more muscle, and so I went ahead and got an enforcer. So what I figured is that they went back to town, crawled back to town, stitched themselves up, and a feudal era enforcer happened to be there and was like, I will join you. So he wants in on the loot. So we're gonna start off. Let me go ahead and bring everything back here. By the way, again, the sounds that you're hearing in the background are from Syrinscape. It's a really great app if you want ambient sound, music, anything happening in the background of your D&D sessions, your board game sessions. It adds that little extra flair to what you're doing. So I highly recommend it. I also went ahead and made some changes to the stream from yesterday and the day before, because I did run into a card yesterday that I forgot that sometimes the depth track you still need to count where certain items are. So I added yellow and red to certain parts of the depth track to remind me that where they are. Because, like I said, there was a darkness card that just straight up said anytime the hero posse's marker landed on a growing dread, an event happened, a certain event happened. Well, I couldn't tell on the screen where we were, so I went ahead and added that. So back to this. The outlaw is still the highest initiative with a 3. Everybody else is a 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop my maximum initiative value on the stream. And we'll begin to play. So, but after yesterday's game, I got a whole bunch of ideas of what I want to add to this one. I would like to add initiative. So when the monster cards come out, for example, when these guys come out, I want to be able to mark them when they're in the right initiative, and I gotta keep tabs on initiative. That's the only problem. I tend to get too into it, and I forget to go down the initiative value for you guys, for everybody to watch. But I want to add basically borders around the monster cards so that when their initiative comes up, it pops up on the screen on their cards on the side of the screen. I also want to create player placards that show their player name. So like if any of you join me in any of these sessions, your name will be in a little placard on the side of the screen with the initiative value of your character card. And what will happen is that as we go down the initiative, your placard will light up when it's your turn. It will also light up the enemy's card when it's their turn. But per usual, whenever a player and a monster group their initiatives match, the monsters always go first. That's always been the rule. So let's get right into this dungeon. I went ahead and let me go do this for a second here. I need to remove the background. There we go. There's the game board. So today, the past 2 days I've been trying stupidly hard to get us to go through a portal because I want to show you all the portal and going into other worlds. It changes the game. So today I went ahead and kind of rigged the exploration tokens so that the very first one's a portal. Kind of cheating, but I just want to get things rolling and show you all the little bits and pieces because there's so many worlds to go through and I'm tired of sitting in the mines. And every world adds a layer of difficulty or an interesting setting to the game. So let me go ahead and get the mines portal up and running. So that's where we're at right now, is at the mines. And let's begin. I'm going to say the prospector is still holding on to the lantern, so everybody has to be on the same tile or adjacent tile, otherwise they take darkness hits. The darkness jumps them and they have to take darkness hits, which is, of course, a bad thing. Don't want them to go crazy. But we'll start with the outlaw, since he's initiative 3. And first, I'm going to have him get the dice roller here. First, I'm going to have him roll his grit. Oh, this guy gets a grit too. So the outlaw got one of his grits back at a maximum of 2, unless you have a card or an item or personal item that tells you otherwise. Some classes even come with more grit. I don't think the prospector has any grit, but if I remember correctly, the outlaw does have a corruption from the first game. All right, so he got his grit, and I'm going to go ahead and just, he's a +1 move, so I'm going to have him move up 5. Oh, that's not him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to have him scavenge the room. Have him roll 2d6. He managed to do it. And what he finds is a hideous discovery. Oh boy. So again, like the XP I'm not really calculating right now. I'm just playing with generic character cards. Otherwise, if I was playing a campaign, which I plan on doing sometime in the near future, we'll actually have character sheets and we'll log in the XP and everything. But take 3 horror hits that do 2 sanity damage apiece. Okay, so he has to make 3 rolls of 4+ against those horror hits. He passes all of them, so he doesn't get it. If something came up, I don't know, maybe it was another dead body like we saw in the other dungeon. Mad Arts, what's up, buddy? Hell yeah, brother. Back at it again, letting dice decide our fate. You know it. You know it. One of these days I'm planning on pulling out... I did get a package in today of 3 different board games that you might be interested in, as a matter of fact. Dude, Mad Arts, I'm doing great, bro. Had a rough morning, but, you know, that's all in the past. Here we are playing board games, specifically Shadows of Brimstone. To me, this is where it's at, and I'm excited for this. It's funny because I woke up like totally blown. Like, how do I put it? You know, when you do something too much, you can kind of overdo it and lose interest. It kind of happened up until I started. The moment I jumped into the stream and started playing, I'm like, yeah, this game just so sucks me in so easily. It sucks me in and hard. But I can't wait for you all to jump in with me on this. This game can be quite a lot of fun. But you ought to jump in. I think we're talking about maybe doing a group stream tomorrow or Saturday. I don't remember which one, but you're in the Discord channel, so you know. But so we moved up, scavenged, D3 horror hits, nothing happened. We're safe for now. Now I'm gonna get the enforcer, the new guy. Um, what does he have for special rules? So these are his special rule cards that I have for him. That's great to hear, man. Yeah, I got that. Like, hold on. Yeah, I get that. Nothing like a hobby that is good at sucking you fast and getting you job done. Yeah, man. Like it's the best way to relieve stress. Like even though just like playing video games can be very frustrating, it's still very therapeutic. Uh, one of these days, though, I definitely plan on just getting one of these cameras here, and I'm just gonna paint miniatures. I got a whole mess of miniatures I need to paint, and I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to like maybe one day out of the week, instead of playing a game, just pull out the minis and start painting. That would be seriously an 8 hour stream because I get sucked into painting. It's been a couple years. I'm excited and nervous about it, but it's a blast, man. Especially when everything's done and you look at what you put together, and it's just like you with the brushing your silver and you know, making it beautiful again. Like once you're done with it, you're like, man, you feel proud of it. All that hard work was worth it and paid off. Uh, so his special rules. That's just his weapon. This gives him extra health, and he gets to fully heal himself. That'd be cool to see. I always wanted to know how it's done and maybe do it, but I don't know if I could handle a new art medium again. Yeah, I get it, man. The thing about I don't know how to say this, but like for me, the only reason I like painting is because, or painting these models is because of this setting, for example. When I played Warhammer 40k, yeah, I enjoyed the game, but I had more fun just painting and just seeing my army out on the field and being proud of it. I totally forgot where I was going with that. I seriously just blanked out for a second. Uh, yeah, you seem really talented, man. Like you got an awful lot of like art background from the look of it. If doing what you're doing, so I totally understand. It can be overwhelming to do too much, but you're always welcome to join me, because like I could put you on here is if you have a camera, I could see what you're working on and give you advice. Heck, you might have advice for me, for all I know, on some things. Um, because you never know, man. Like a lot of the times when somebody's new to something, their level of creativity is so great that oh, maybe we should use this brush and do a specific type of technique to add like blood marks or blood splatter or something. That's the beauty about painting with other artists on miniatures, is that you all kind of just get together and like watch each other and start asking questions and develop better technique. Uh, I mean, I see people on oh, what's the name of that, Pantheon, do some amazing and incredible work. But they seriously spend hours and they have like ridiculous equipment to do the job. Me, I'm like, give me a paintbrush and some paint, and that's it. I don't need an airbrush. I don't need any of that, or I don't want an airbrush. Not so much need. I just don't want one. But anyway, so the enforcer doesn't really have any additional rules for movement. We've already scavenged the room, which I need to get the scavenge marker. But anyway, so yeah, I got in a. I'm very unfocused, honestly. I learned how to draw some things, painting, pyrography. Oh, okay, yeah. Potion making, silver cleaning, charcoal, and etc. Very unfocused. Yeah, I get that, man. That seems very overwhelming. my problem is that I don't know if I have ADD. I haven't been tested or anything, ADHD or anything like that. I haven't been tested, but my mind drifts too quickly. Like for example, earlier when I was talking to you, and all of a sudden my mind just went blank. That happens all the time. Um, I just I don't know if that's years of working for NBC and dealing with extreme workloads to where I just kind of lose focus and move on and move on and move on and move on. Because I tend to forget where I was even 5 seconds ago sometimes. But there's a lot happening right now in the world, so it's a little bit overwhelming, and it kind of gets I don't know. For me, it gets to me. But again, man, you know, if you ever want to join, do a session, I'd be cool with it. I mean, hell, we can even do something where you're doing your silver cleaning and I'm painting, and we can just like chill and talk. Do a collab on that. But the enforcer, initiative 2, he's going to move up his 4. Kind of want him to go further. So I've also decided that I'm going to house rule something. So in general, your movement is supposed to be a d6. I've never been into that rule since day one this game came out. But there was an additional an extra rule in the back of the actual book that says if you don't want to use a d6 for your movement, which I mean, who wants to move one space turn? You know, if you're terrible at rolling, you're screwed. You can use your you can move 4 instead. So what I'm doing is I'm going to adopt that into the extra movement rule, where you spend a grit, and instead of rolling a d6 to see how much further you go, you're just going to get an additional 4 movement. I'm house ruling that on this stream. There's just some things I feel like that should be better. Like, I love Shadows of Brimstone. I think it's amazing. But there are some rules here and there that I feel like we already got a lot against us in this game, and I feel like a 4 movement on your extra roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spend that grit. Do I get an extra grit? I remember there was like some special rule in here. Once per turn, use 1 grit to double you. Ooh, no, I want to hold on to that. Never mind. I forgot that this guy has an amazing special rule. If I can zoom in on it. Come on now. This thing just doesn't like working sometimes. There we go. And I'll get rid of those cards. So yeah, once per turn, use 1 grit to double one of the damage rolls before any other modifiers. This damage also ignores armor. Now, it's not like the awesome heavy pickaxe where I roll a d8, I roll a d6 on these guys still, but the fact that I can like roll a 6 and then multiply, like, let's say it's a defense 2 is what they have, multiply that by 2, I get like 8 damage on top of everything. That's amazing. And that's what I'm going for with this guy. So as much as I want him to rush across that room and discover the next room, I'm just going to wait till next turn. So the room's already been scavenged. Did I get a token for that? I remember grabbing one, and I think I put it back in there. Anyway, so the room's already been... No, it's right there. The room's already been scavenged. And I'm next going to have the Prospector. I didn't roll for grit on the Enforcer. You know, I think all my luck from yesterday is transferring to today. Knock on wood. The Prospector is going to go. Going to make him do his grit roll. I think he only gets 1. Yeah. Nothing. But he's going to go ahead and move up his 1, 2, 3 because he can't really move onto that tile. Or that space. And that's going to be end of the turn. And we'll go ahead and I really need to create an end turn button because I'm constantly forgetting to do the initiative. So we're going to do a hold back the darkness at 7+. Let me put this guy back. So at 7+. Oh, that's bad. It's not really, really bad, but it's still bad. I was not expecting to roll doubles on the very first Hold Back the Darkness test. I need to add these to the stream as well. This way I can just pull them up so you can read them too. Whoops. It's down here somewhere. And later on, I'll open the boxes and show you what came in today, because I plan on playing those at some point. There it is. So in the mines, on a darkness roll, double roll of 2, Dark Dread. Things are looking more and more bleak by the moment. Draw a Growing Dread card and add it to the stack. Oh, this is already not going well. I'll be right back. I need to get the Growing Dread cards. I do have them scanned. I just haven't added them to the stream yet, because it's a deck that you have in the game. It sits on the side until the final boss appears, and all of a sudden it just makes the final boss fight stupid, really stupid, but fun. Took me a little while, but I found the cards. I guess the last time I played it, I think somebody put them in the wrong spot in my oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, we'll use them all for now. So, for every Kickstarter and every core box, they had Growing Dread cards for each one, and I mean, in a way, I'm playing pretty much everything. All the core boxes combined, all the expansions combined, just to make the game much more fun and chaotic. But I usually like using the original cards because they just seemed a little more to the point on what they want you to do. But anyway, so this is the Growing Dread cards. And whenever it tells us to put one in the pile, or anytime the darkness marker goes up the track and hits one of those yellow points, we have to add another one of these bad boys to the pile. So I will go ahead and add one to the pile. and that was on the doubles roll of 2 on a depth event. So back to it. That was luckily we don't have to bring the darkness up at all because depth events ignore going up the darkness track or the darkness going up the depth track. So we're back to the beginning of the turn. The outlaw's gonna see if he can get his grit. Nope. So he's just gonna move up and he's gonna peek into the next room. That's going to be his turn, and then the enforcer. Oh, actually, we do that right now. So, the tile we find in the next room is the waterfall room. Decent sized, has 3 different possible areas to enter. So let me go find the tile. I'll be right back. Should be in the core. Okay. So there we go, and it's going to start right there. So we'll go ahead and place that there for now. Move this on over. Might move that camera eventually. And we'll place a exploration token on it. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, I kind of rigged the exploration tokens. I took one token out, one specific token out, randomized the rest of them, so this way I can finally show you all something. So something I was hoping to happen earlier. So we got the exploration. He moved up. He peeked into the room. That's what we got so far. Yeah, the enforcer. I'm gonna have him move up. He's very confident. You know, he hasn't come out with these guys yet. He hasn't seen all the craziness that happens in these mines. So he's just straight up walking right in there. And since he's in there and hasn't been scavenged yet, I'm going to let him scavenge. And he has a special rule for scavenging, if I remember correctly. Yes, so he's a mercenary. He always rolls 1 extra die while scavenging. I'm here watching, but I'm also cooking, man. Just let you know. Hey, no, thanks for seriously, Maddox. Thanks for just hanging out, man. Like, you know, I'll try to respond as much as I can, but I'm also trying to remain focused on everything happening in here. But thank you so much for like hanging out, man. Like I always appreciate it, especially you and yeah. I mean, you hanging out, man. It's a blast. It always is. Uh, so he moved in, and he's gonna do his scavenging. He gets 3 dice instead of 2, and he finds something. And what he finds is I need to click on the screen. So we don't do anything with the XP for now, but he does get 50 gold. We need to give the outlaw 25 from day 1. Is if I ever decide to do a town stay with these guys. You're 50? No? Okay. So 50 and 25 for... Oh, there is a 50. And 25 for the outlaw. That's pretty much what we've been finding. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. We're down to initiative 2. Again, I gotta train myself to keep up with the initiative tracker. Like I said, I cannot wait, because I've already done it in a previous version of this stream where it highlights whoever's next, including the monster cards. But this new stream, it's a little not quite there. It's not quite where I want it. I still have a long ways to go to get it done. So, but Enforcer's done. I'm moving on to the Prospector. The room's already been scavenged, so. But if I remember correctly, the Prospector is actually allowed to scavenge the room more than once. Yep, he gets Eagle Eye. You may scavenge a map tile even if it is already, if it is already has a scavenge marker on it. Roll one extra die when scavenging. So not only does he get 3 dice, but he also gets to roll in a room that's already been scavenged. So I'm going to have him move up. And we'll have him scavenge as well. Maybe he'll find something this time. It's funny, he's been rolling like 3 dice this whole time and hasn't been finding anything. He found 2 items. Good for you, buddy. And he finds 50 gold. But he gets a bonus. He's an expert miner. Whenever the hero collects gold or darkstone from a loot, scavenge, or encounter card, double the amount collected. So instead of 50, this mighty old prospector here getting himself 100. He just became the wealthiest person on the board. Good for him. He deserves it. And that's going to be the end of that. Now we go to the exploration. So the exploration token flips over. We have a. Oh yeah. So I'm still doing the medium like yesterday, the medium size mine. So we have to find 3 of those tokens, 3 of those clue tokens, which are these red marks right here. So it's got a portal, and we're gonna find out what portal it is. So we roll a d6, and it will tell us which part of the room has the portal. 4. So straight across is a portal. Let me go get. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and move this over for now. So these areas are blocked off. This is a portal to another world. And these are the 3D, basically the models that extra models you can use to demonstrate what's a portal. And that's what they look like. Let's see if I can get rid of these cards. So it's a painted model. So we'll just go ahead and put it right here. So now we got to make our way to that portal and peek through that one to see the other side. Now the difference between a portal and a passage, a portal divider and a passage divider, is that when you're on a passage divider, you're still considered to be in both rooms. So you can see into this room, you can see into that room. That's for deciding range, attacks, field of view, all that, like what you see, line of sight, all that stuff. But when you're on a divider between the portal and the new world and the current world, if you're sitting on this spot, you're technically still in this world. You just can see what's on the other side. You just can't shoot through it. Yeah, because I remember playing a few games where I kind of botched that rule where I thought I could shoot through the portal, and then recently, when I was rereading the rules for the updated facts, I found that little tidbit, and now I found out you have to go through the portal before you do anything. But that goes for monsters and for enemies and you. So that was that. We need to flip an encounter card because we do have an encounter. Lucky find. This room is filled with broken trinkets and rusty scraps. there may be something useful under all of this if you can find it. So let me go ahead and put it here so you all can see it. So in this card, I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and change this over and zoom in so this way we can see the cards better. Whoops. Come on, cooperate with me. This might work. Okay, so. And if I zoom in on it, that'll help. So, this little icon means that everybody has to do it on the tile. You know what? Let me make doubly sure on it. Yes, so I was right. So says the rule book, which is this bad boy right here. I do have this all uploaded to my Discord as well, so if you ever want to, they're the PDF files. So if by chance you ever are interested in Shadows of Brimstone, you can go to the Discord, and there's like a section in the Discord called Shadows of Brimstone, and it should be a like an assets or it'll have all the rule books, and then it'll also have like a PDF of basically all the classes. The unfortunate thing is that I left that up to Photoshop to organize all that, and it did a very poor job. But anyway, so yeah, so in this card, the icon here demonstrates that everybody, all heroes, need to make this test. So it's a luck 6+. And we'll go in initiative order like we have been. So we'll say the outlaw first. So it's a luck. He's got 4. So he makes 4d6 rolls. And he definitely passes with his 6. And any hero that passes the test may draw a loot card. If no hero passes this test, your luck has run out. Really, ambush attack. We just did this yesterday with the ambush attacks. I'm kind of had enough of ambush attacks. Well, luckily he's got grit. He doesn't. Did I roll for grit on him? I do not believe so. No, it's too late now. But outlaw passed, so he gets to draw a loot card. We'll go ahead and draw one. 250 gold. Again, we're going to ignore the experience for now. $50. Yeah, I'll make these in hundreds. Oh, there we go. They're at the bottom. Of course they are. So the outlaw is now $275 richer. Well, rich compared to everybody else. So next we'll go ahead and do the enforcer. Well, everybody has a decent luck, so here's hoping they'll all pass. So they got to make 6s. I have the hunch we're going to get ambushed before we can even go into that world, which I rigged the game to get us there. We're probably going to get ambushed. He gets 2. Was it for every single 6? No, just 1. So the enforcer got lucky and rolled a 6, so he also gets to roll on the loot table. Oh, nice. So let's do a d6 roll. Okay, I'm getting really scared that I'm rolling all these 6s. I have a hunch that the prospector is going to screw us all. So he gets, what is that, 300 gold? No, times 6. What am I thinking? That's 150, right? So 150 gold for the enforcer. Should get those tokens. And now for the prospector. Please don't let me down. And he's the one that doesn't have any grit, so I can't re-roll anything. I flippin' knew it. Okay, so what's gonna happen here is we're getting ambushed. Really? Like everybody has to? If no hero passes the if no hero passes the test, your luck is run out. Okay, so we're good because yeah, it's that whole last part is if none of these guys pass the test, so we're good. There's no ambush. Thank God, I don't want to have to deal with that. So that's the end of the exploration turn. We're gonna go ahead and go to hold off the darkness. Let me get rid of those cards first. And maybe get rid of that screen. Hold back the darkness at 7+. Oh, we did go down the depth track though, so we're at 15 right now. So the prospector is going to go ahead and roll for his hold back the darkness with his lantern. Did not make it. We needed a 7+. I don't think I have anything to get rid of that roll. Nope. And you can't. No, he doesn't have any grit anyway. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to go up the darkness is coming out of the cave one space at a time here. So that's the end of that phase. We're going back to the new phase. First off, it's the outlaw. I'm going to have him roll for his grit. It's 2 dice. Nothing. 2. I might spend his grit to move him all the way up. 2, 3, 4. I'll spend his grit because I want him to open up that portal before anything happens. 2, 3, perfect. It only took 3 points, so he's going to peer through the portal. So let's see what realm we're going to. Targa Plateau, the library. So data collection. Whenever a depth event is triggered, also add an archive marker to the depth track. Knowledge Unbound. All scavenge and loot cards are worth 5 XP. Oh, that's nice. Archive marker. So this, I think this is from the new expansion. Data collection. Whenever a depth event is triggered. So whenever we roll doubles, also add an archive marker to the depth track. I gotta look up and see what the archive marker does. That's new to me. So we'll go ahead and put that to the side. And I'll go get the tiles and encounters for the next area so we can kind of prep them. We're not going to need these guys anymore. So we're not going to go back through the portal. There's no way where else to go anyway. But the camera zoom in? I'm just gonna have it on that. There we go. Here's our growing dread card. As I stated earlier, we are going to get rid of always the previous room. I don't have enough room for the entire board to be on the table. So we'll just do that for now. And this room has been scavenged. Twice over, actually. So he's going to peer into that room. And what he's going to find is this. The map room. So we found a portal that brings us right straight to the map room. MTP. Oh, let me go find it. Gotta admit, the new tiles are pretty awesome looking. We need that. Need a few of these. And it's coming out of this spot. That's the wrong one, isn't it? We'll just use it. It's okay. So basically what's happening is the portal is coming from here to this spot. I don't know if I had a good place to put these things. And then we'll put an exploration token on it. So he's looking through the portal. And he's searching through it. That's his action. We're going to go to the Enforcer. The Enforcer's going to do his grit roll. Gets nothing. He's just going to go ahead and mosey on up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all you can really do this turn, unless I want to spend a grit and have him move into the portal and into that room. I'm not going to do that. The same thing for the Prospector. They can't scavenge that room. Prospector's going to do his grit roll. He gets nothing, but he's going to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't do any scavenging, so he's just going to kind of hang low. And we'll move on to the exploration. So let's flip the exploration. And we found another clue, so we're 1 clue away from completing the mission. But we run into 1 door and 2 encounters. So let's first see what which way or hallway is going to be the doorway. So we'll roll the die. 1, so the left. So we'll put these guys down. I think I'm using the wrong ones. And that way's going to be the hallway. We have the tokens there already. And we need 2 encounters in this new area. So the encounters for the Targa Plateau. Am I missing a rule? I think I'm missing a rule. So it's whenever a depth event happens. So not a big deal. So, Ancient Forge. Unlike the rest of the frozen city, this area grows with an orange light as waves of heat wash over you from ahead. Stepping into the chamber, you can see that is an ancient armory although it says it's a map room, but okay. An ancient armory of some sort. Rows of massive metal limbs and armor plates hang from assembly lines, and the fires of the forge still burn hot. This map tile may be scavenged up to 4 times more than normal. All nothing here scavenge cards drawn on this map tile also include 1 Darkstone. All heroes on this map tile are -1 initiative from the oppressive heat. So that is a special rule for that room. So -1 initiative, but we get a lot of bonuses for scavenging. That's pretty cool. Then the second card, Glowing Halls. The towering data columns of the library bathe the icy halls with a cold blue glow. As you cast your gaze down each frozen pathway extending off into the darkened mist, your mind boggles at the vastness of this place and the untold wealth of history it must contain. Random player makes a cunning 5+. So we have 3 players. So I'm not doing the 1 through 3, 4 through 6. I'm going to be doing a 1, 2 for the outlaw, 3, 4 for the enforcer, 5, 6 for the prospector. So that's how we're going to decide on randomness for this, from here on out for these guys. So the outlaw has to make a cunning 5+. They all have the same cunning. Doesn't really matter, but this will affect them. He does not have grit. Okay, well, I failed. Neither one of them was a 5. If succeeded, gain 20 XP, and every hero may recover a grit or heal d6 sanity damage. That would have been nice. If failed, your head spins at the beautiful and terrible sights to behold. Take 2 d6 horror hits as you struggle to cope with your insignificant place in the cosmos. So yeah, the map room did affect us in a negative way. So 2d6 horror hits is what this guy is taking. Please don't roll 2 6s. Did I just conjure that? You know, like, there's a part of me that's like, saying that it's gonna happen. Well, sure enough, he's taking 12 horror hits. At 4+, man, he might just go insane. 4+ was it? If I fail all these, he just went down. I can't believe I rolled 2 6s, but yeah, you know, I asked for it when I said don't do it. Okay, he's not dead. That's black magic, you witch. Yeah. Yes, it is, Madhearts. Yes, it is. Wish that it would put them in order, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 failures. So he takes 8 points of sanity damage. Ouch. Yeah, I'm gonna come out and say it. So far, anytime something comes up, the outlaw freaks the hell out. When they saw the skeleton, he freaked the hell out. Now he walks into a room that has a whole bunch of weird technology in it, maps of the cosmos, and it freaked them out. Yeah, this outlaw's his willpower is not great. Prospector, on the other hand, still stout. So that's the end of the 2 encounters. So we can put this guy away. This guy's still playing in check, but that's whenever we're doing scavenging. That's a pretty sweet card. Also bad for combat. If we ever get ambushed or attacked in that room, it's gonna hurt. But we've made it to another world, everybody. So that's the end of the turn. We'll go ahead and get ready for another hold back the darkness roll. Oh, and we also went down the depth track. So 7+. Mr. Prospector lifts up his lantern and gives the middle finger to the darkness. So we're good. So first turn, outlaw is, what's the initiative again? -1. Wow. Everybody's at 2 and 1 initiative. That's bad. Uh, gonna roll for my grit on the outlaw. The outlaw gets a grit back. And he's gonna move on in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of want to spend the point to go into the next room, but I'm just gonna wait here. Although staying in this room's a bad idea too. But if the next room has a clue, then we're ready to move on. It would be cool to run into the blasted waste though, because then we can actually go to a different town stay. But we haven't done the town stay yet, so that's maybe next week we'll add the travel and town stay. I just need to add it to the stream. I guess I don't have to, but I'd rather do it. I'm gonna have him go ahead and do a scavenge. Since we can do as many scavenges as we want in this room, why not, right? So, to scavenge, he gets it. Now, what are the rules again? This map tile may be scavenged up to 4 times more than normal. So normally it's 1 time, but he gets to do it 5, or we get to do it 5. But the prospector gets to do it an additional time on top of whatever the maximum of the room is. All nothing here. Scavenge cards drawn in this map tile also includes dark stone. Okay, so that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and do a scavenge since he succeeded. There's the nothing here card. So he finds a darkstone. To get those, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab the darkstone markers because we're getting a lot of these right now. There we go. So I've actually got the plastic bits for the darkstone, so I'm going to go ahead and use those. So far, the prospector's carrying what, 7 pieces? Might actually add that to the stream too, just how many darkstone the party has in total, or per player has in total. But he should have 7, and the outlaw now has 1 piece of darkstone. So then, once he's done, I'm going to have the outlaw's turn. Outlaw's going to move up 1. Is that a spot? 2, 3, 4. Oh, I have to roll his grit. Can't forget that. Didn't get one, but he's also going to scavenge since we can capitalize on this. So he's going to roll his 2 scavenge. He actually gets 3 scavenge because of his special rule of mercenary. He finds he scavenges something. So let's go ahead and get another one. Again, nothing here, so he gets darkstone as well. This room, we're going to be making so many darkstone checks at the end of this adventure. We might have more mutations, more noses being burnt off, being burned off. Yeah, we got like 7, 8, 9 pieces of darkstone among everybody. This is nuts. And then the prospector. 2, 3, 4. He moves up 4 as well, and I'm gonna again. He gets 1 more than everybody else, so he's gonna go ahead and do another scavenge. Oh, first I should do his grit roll. He doesn't get his grit. Now his scavenge. He finds nothing. Well, he's the prospector, and he's not finding anything. So that's the end of the turn. We haven't looked through any doorways or anything yet. No combat yet, and I don't want any combat in this room because we all be negative 1 on our initiative. So we'll move on to Hold Back the Darkness. At a 7+. So Prospector pulls up his lantern again, holding back whatever horrors are coming out of the deeper inside this dungeon. Did I bring us down the track? I did. And we passed. So we just continue on down the depth track, and following everybody into this horrifying place called the. I'll bring it back here. Nope, not that one. The Targa Plateau, with all its crazy special rules. I gotta remember how to do that depth track stuff for the archives. It's a rule I'm gonna have to look up. But we haven't rolled anything. We haven't rolled any depth events, so we're good. So next turn, we're back to the outlaw with his 2 initiative, because he has that scar and -1 on this room. And I'm gonna have him move right on up. Oh, first grit. Roll for his grit. He gets 2 dice actually. He gets a grit back, and he's gonna move on up. And we'll do a peek through that room. First, I'll go ahead and give a grit to this character. So he's gonna peek through the room, and as I've said before, every time we go into another room and we're not going back, I'm getting rid of this guy because I'm trying to save space on the table. We'll just put this over here for now, and we'll just kind of rotate this because we're heading that direction. And I'll just put this here so y'all can see that that's the special rule for that room. So he's going to peek through that room, and he's going to find the orb room. It's an interesting looking room. But yeah, that's the room we're going to be searching for here in a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab it. Camera's following me, so never mind. Not quite sure which expansion this one's in, but it's in one of the Targas. Very first tile I found. Kind of got lucky. So, there it is. That's the orb room. Not sure what the orb does. It does have a special card to it, but I'm not going to use it this round. It's not attaching. There we go. We'll just leave that there to show we have 2 clues. Put all that. So obviously you can't go into this tile, this area, but all around here are spaces. And we'll put a exploration token on there. So I moved him up, used my action to peek into the room. Next turn is the Enforcer, who's going to roll for his grit. Actually, he doesn't really need to. He's at max grit. So I'm just going to move him up 1, 2, 3. I'm going to capitalize on this room because we can still scavenge this room 2 more times, but the Prospector can scavenge it 1 time on top of everybody. So I'll have him go ahead and scavenge that room. And he gets 3 dice since he's a mercenary. He finds nothing. We've only scavenged it twice. The Prospector is going to move on up as well. And he's also, I'm going to roll his grit first, as I should. Finds nothing. He gets no grit. But now I'm going to have him scavenge the previous room. See if he finds anything. He does. So we got lucky. And what the Prospector finds is a hideous discovery. So he would normally get 10 experience, but we're not doing his experience until I do a campaign. Take 3 horror hits that do 2 sanity damage apiece. We're running into these horror hits a lot. There's like no monsters, there's nothing, just lots of crazy sounds and visuals. Like that room in particular freaked out the outlaw. So we're going to make 3 horror hits, was it? So I need to roll 3d6 at 5+. He has a lot of sanity though, so 3d6 at 5+. Does he make any? He saves 1, but he takes 2, so he takes 2 sanity damage. But he's still doing good. He's got some solid sanity and health, specifically health. Just not really good at his willpower saves. Explains why he mutated. He's the one with the nose gone. So he scavenged. We did that. If I remember correctly, on is it just I think it's just on nothing here. Yeah, nothing here cards. This is a hideous discovery, so not a big deal. Oh! No, he took 4 sanity damage because they're 2 damage a pop on those hits. Not 1. So that actually kind of hurt. The end of the round, we're going to go ahead and go back to get rid of those cards. Hold back the darkness. Again at 7 plus. And again, the prospector holds up his lantern and fails this time. The darkness actually passes through. So the darkness is going to go up, which means we ran into a darkness card. So let me pull out a darkness card and see what comes up. Cold Death. For each wound a hero currently has on him, he immediately takes... I need to move that thing. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. As much as I'd love to have it being in the middle, it's kind of in the way. Well, you know what? I'll just leave it there. So every time the darkness goes up, do your monsters get tougher or more monsters? It's... So, if you take a look at the screen right now, the depth track at the very top, middle. So on both sides, on the left side, there's a posse marker. That's us going down into the dungeon. And on the right side is, you know what, I'll just fidget with it so you can see it. This guy, I shouldn't have done that because now it's going to play the animation. This guy, on the right-hand side is the darkness trying to get out of the dungeon. So we're kind of just moving along, and there are darkness cards is basically the darkness coming out and, yes, like making things more difficult. Curses and awful things are happening. The monsters, there's some cards that you have to make checks, and it's just hearing a sound of like a horrible sound and making horror checks to see if you can kind of get over that. But the darkness coming out is really just affecting like it is affecting the monsters and a lot of other things. Like pretty much all the cards are doing that. Pretty much all the cards are against you in a lot of ways. For example, I'm going to try not to look at it. This guy here, the Growing Dread card, it does not show up till the very final boss fight. So that thing can stack and stack and stack and stack up until the final boss fight. Now you got like a whole mess of things that come up. The darkness cards is just as the darkness is coming out, it's trying to expel all this terrible stuff. It can bring monsters in. It could be an ambush, or it could just make specific types of monsters. Like the other day, I had one that turned demon monsters into something more horrifying. They added more damage to them, more initiative, made them more difficult to fight. There's a lot that can happen with the darkness cards. But as the darkness is pulling out, it's just making things more difficult. And as it's going through, there's these little red and yellow markers. I added this just today because there was a darkness card that came up that remained in play that anytime the hero posse marker, which is the one on the left side, touches one of the Growing Dread, which is the yellow ones, something would happen. Well, I need to account for that, so I decided to add that to the depth track. But that's basically what the darkness does. It does a lot to the game. So where was I? We did the darkness, the roll. One thing I should have done before we did hold back the darkness, we peeked into this room. We need to do the exploration. So we flipped this card. No, we didn't get another clue token. One more clue token and we'd be done with this mission. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, so... So what happens here is that there is a doorway. Maybe I can bring it over here so y'all can see it better. If I could zoom in a little bit more, I would. But the top demonstrates that we have a doorway that's open. Below it, a depth event happens. So we have to roll a d6, and a depth event happens. Uh, in my experience, one is the worst, of course, and then it just gets a little bit better. Six is like you want a six because a six just heals everybody and you gain grit. It's amazing. And then we have to do an encounter, which is the bottom one. Right? It's a cool concept. Yeah, it is. It is a cool concept. I mean, like I said, Matt, it's like there are so many rules, so many things to this game that it just completely changes every single playthrough. It's not the same playthrough. I've played an awful lot of board games from Steam Forged and Simon, and they're great. They're fun, and they can still be randomized. Just this here, it's actually with these encounter cards, it's telling a story. I tried to do something similar with monsters basically getting affected with the T virus, a chance for monsters to mutate after death or mid battle. With each one, they get more HP or more strikes, or maybe skill. Getting infected with T virus. Is this for D&D or something? I tried to do something similar with monsters. Or is it another board game that you're talking about? But that is cool. I've always liked games where oh, for D&D? Okay, cool. So it is for a D&D session. Yeah, I like that. I always like custom rules that come from a dungeon master that I mean, it just makes it more exciting for the players. Like a lot of things that were unexpected pop up and you know, people who play D&D religiously, when you throw a monster at them, they already kind of know the card. They already know the rules for them. They already it makes it easier for some of these people. Like when you got people like Devin who know pretty much from cover to cover all the monsters in the monster manual. You throw a monster at him, he already knows exactly how to fight the thing. Now he's Devin's the type that's going to role play it. If his character wouldn't really know, he's going to fight it like as if the character doesn't know. But I'm just saying is that there's some power gamers out there that are like, well, I've already read through the monster manual and memorized every single thing, so I already knows how to fight it. But I like what you did there for the rules because it, it it throws a curveball, and I love curveballs, and that's why I love Shadows of Brimstone, because every little thing in this game is a curveball. Everything is random, other than what you do with your character. Because there have been times where there was one mission where I played with my buddy Tom, where we're going through a dungeon. Well, actually, we're going through the Forbidden Fortress, which is a feudal Japan. Uh, well, it's a fortress, and we went to one room that we drew an encounter card for it, and a dragon came in and just destroyed the roof of this build part of the building. It all caved in, did damage to us, and we moved along. And then again, we ran into another card that was also the dragon. It's just so cool to see the story actually kind of developing. It's a lot of fun. Custom rules are awesome. We have one where if you crit strike, the dice are auto maxed out, but you still roll the double ones. So the strike means something. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I love custom rules. I always have, especially with like I said D&D. I just like I said earlier curveballs. Yeah, dragons. And in this game, I don't know. I'll show you the model. I'll show you the model of the dragon. If I have it. I got I got a mess of bad guy models here. Oh, yeah, so that's the dragon. Let me just put him right next to the players. And I'll get rid of the, well, not get rid of, but I'll put it to the side. So that's the size of the dragon in this game. So that's the thing that's been swooping down, destroying the town we were in. Uh, he is an epic threat card. I don't think you'll ever see him while I'm playing with base characters like this. This is the epic threat cards I'll bring in when we reach like level 3 in the campaign mode. But anyway, to continue the story, Yeah, same here. I was really pleased when they gave us that dragon because between D&D and Massive Darkness and Zombicide and pretty much every fantasy game, like every dragon looked the same and acted the same. And this, when they gave us this, I was like, oh god, that's, oh yeah, that's nice. So we did the whole Back to Darkness. No, we didn't. We did the, what did we do? Okay, that's right. So we have to do the doorway first. So let's roll a d6 and see. 6. So it's going that direction. Let me go get the endway tiles. Ah, need to find more space. This is what I'm looking for. So this is closed off. That is closed off. But we're going this direction. So we did that. We now have to do a depth event, which also triggers the world card. Not looking forward to this, but I gotta look up what the archive markers do and what they add to the game, and I think that's part of the new Kickstarter. See if I can find the rules for that. No, these boxes later when I'm towards the end of the screen. Well, when we finish this up, I'll show you what I got in. Stuff that I'm gonna look into and I get some gameplay on. Those are big bads. Here somewhere. Easier if I just pull it all out. So yeah, these are pretty much all the rule books. Yep. Archive markers. These markers are used in the Target Plateau world and represent the data that the alien library has collected on heroes during the adventure. That's cool. And there's archive towers. Let's see what these archive. No, they don't have it in the back here. Archive markers. Okay, so I'll get closer to the mic. So, archive markers and library of knowledge. As the heroes explore the frozen alien library in search of powerful artifacts and information, the sinister intelligence of the archive itself will also be learning about them. This is represented by archive markers that are placed on the depth track over the course of the adventure, not in any particular order or any particular space of the depth track, but just on the depth track as a whole. These archive markers do not have any direct effects on the heroes, but the number of archive markers will be referenced by various encounters and library enemy abilities as you explore deeper into the ancient library. In addition to the end of the adventure, oh no, for every 5 archive markers on the depth track, the heroes must make 1 permanent library knowledge on their campaign log, as the library has learned enough about the heroes to start altering its behavior and adapting its tactics against them during all future missions. As detailed in the library knowledge. That is insane. That is wicked. Okay. So, if you're playing a campaign, every time you go back to the Targa Plateau, your hero posse, the library is constantly studying you and making things more difficult for you and testing you. That is wicked. So since I'm playing with characters I'm not doing any campaign with, I mean I'm going to still do the archive markers, and I'll still follow the 5 rule, but I'm going to forego jotting down, logging the information, because next week I think I'm just gonna start campaign characters, and we'll I mean I might even keep these guys, give them names, and continue, but They've got plenty of gear on them. So we do get an archive marker. I'm just going to go ahead and use a grit and put it on. That's something I'm going to have to add to the depth track, I guess. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the Growing Dread card as the archive marker. Is that in view? You know what? I am tired of that being there, so I'm just going to go ahead and change the view of that. I want it to look right there. And then we'll go back. Cool. Whew. Quite a bit happening. All right. So we have to roll a d6 for the depth event. And this is for the Targa Plateau, so I need to pull up the Targa Plateau events. Please be a 6. Okay, nope. So it's a 4. So Targa Plateau. Oh, there we go. On a 4, it's a blizzard. The icy chill turns to whipping winds as a blizzard sets in. I guess there's a weather effect. While in the Targa Plateau, a hero takes 1 automatic hit at the start of each turn. So the area just changed with a weather effect. So now every turn we have to take an actual damage hit. Doesn't say how much damage you take, so I'm guessing it's just 1. While on the Targa Plateau, a hero takes 1 automatic hit at the start of every turn. Okay. Well, let's see how this works out. Okay, so we did that. We did the hold back the darkness. We failed. We went up, where we're supposed to go up. And did we do the encounter? We did not do the encounter yet. So here comes the encounter card. A lot happened in this turn. Ancient Pylon. You are faced... Sorry, I'm not getting enough lighting. You are faced with a monolithic stone pylon that begins to hum as you approach. That's as you approach. Is that normal, right? So one player, and I get to choose who, makes a lore 5+, or one player gets to make an agility 6+. I'll go ahead and roll that up so you all can see it. So it's indicating that one player does it. Otherwise, you'd see like 2 other player icons next to them. So I'm going to choose... Who's got what here? Everybody's got the same level of lore. Who's got a good agility? It really doesn't matter. I'm going to make the prospector do it with his lore. He's got plenty of health, and actually, how's the... Yeah, I'll do the prospector. The enforcer has the least amount of health and sanity, and the outlaw is not doing well either. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to make him do a lore 3 at 5. It's a better check anyway. I need 5 pluses instead of 6 pluses. And he passes. He gets 1/5. So, if successful, you use your knowledge of the ancient systems or your speed to dodge the lasers to get close enough to shut it down. Gain 50 XP, and the way forward is clear. Discard, discard. I am glad I passed. So I'll go ahead and read out what happens if you failed. If failed, take D6 hits that do 3 wounds each. A different hero may now try this test. While in play, all forward exits from this room are blocked. Each hero is allowed to try this. Wow, really? While in play, all forward exits from this room are blocked. Would that just end the mission? Because at that point, you're blocking all the doors. I mean, wow, okay. Either way, we passed and gained XP, but we're not using XP right now. So that's the end of the exploration. We did the whole back to darkness already. Uh, on to the next turn. So the outlaw, we're now officially out of the room, so our initiative's better. Although the prospector, well, actually, we're all technically still in that room, so we're all -1. But I'm gonna have the outlaw waltz in here and move that way. So he's got a 5 movement. I keep forgetting he's got a 5 movement. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right to the door. I don't need to roll grit. He's at max grit, and I'll have him scavenge. So 2 scavenge. He passes. He done good. He gets 1 scavenge. Useful discovery. Gets to draw a gear card. Oh, it's about time. So the gear deck right now is enormous. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over there, draw a card out of the wedge that I have, and I'll just use that. So I'll be right back. Okay. This is awesome. So I've got, as I said earlier, well, not earlier, but I think yesterday or the day before, Darkstone. The whole purpose of Darkstone is, one, it can make you wealthy. You can gamble these, sell these. They make you rich in this game. Best part about them is they are the way for you to upgrade your gear. And to upgrade your gear, you can go to a blacksmith or there's some shops in town that just straight up have rules where you can upgrade gear based on like a little list of upgrades. And you, in order to do it, they always say you need X amount of darkstone to forge the upgrade. Well, I just so happen to have found an upgrade on the adventure. It's called the Mark of the Explorer. So in this card, let me show you what they mean. This little icon here at the top just represents which expansion it comes from, so or which core box it comes from. So, for example, this one's the Spanish Conquistadors core box. There's another one for the Norse, another one for the Forbidden Fortress, and then for the base game. The base game, well, I can show you all that later. But either way, this icon represents that. This icon underneath it is the Darkstone icon. What that means is how many of those are on this card represents how many Darkstone it represents, like how much radiation it pushes out. So this is 1 Darkstone right here. This is 1 Darkstone as well. If it had 2, it'd be a 2 Darkstone. So by the end of the adventure, we have to roll to see how much corruption we get from these Darkstone pieces. That's counted toward the whole set. So, for example, the prospector would make 7 get out of there 7 Darkstone rolls to see if they get mutations or corruption of some type. Now the outlaw at this point is going to have 2 because of this and this. Secondly, of course, you got all the special rules and then how much it's worth if you want to trade it in. And then this little marker here is how many upgrade slots it takes. So, for example, I don't know if I'd want to put it on the shotgun. What does it do? Use 2 Darkstone to attach. You get +1 move. Gain an extra 5 XP for looking through doors. That's awesome. So I could probably put that on my pistols or my shotgun because pistols have 2 upgrade slots apiece. Shotguns have 1, and that's basically what you're seeing here. That's the upgrade slot. See, shotgun has 1, pistols have 3. So I can always take up one of those slots with this bad boy. So that's a good find. I can't put it on right now. I have to go to a blacksmith to do it. Although I would love to put it on one of these because he's been going through doors this whole time. He could be getting XP. And the extra movement point's really nice to have. So that was his turn. He did a scavenge and everything. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Enforcer. The Enforcer's going to do his grit roll. Does not get one back, but he's at max grit anyway, so I shouldn't have had to done that. 3, 4. And he can't scavenge this room since it's already been scavenged, which reminds me I need to put that there. And the prospector, same thing. I'm going to go ahead and make him roll his grit. He doesn't get a grit. He needs one, but he doesn't get one. And he's going to move up his 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since he's a prospector and he's got expert miner, he gets to actually roll one more scavenge compared to everybody else. So, and he gets one additional die on top of all of it. So he's going to do a scavenge. Did it work? Oh. He rolled 2. Very nice. So he gets 2 scavenge. So let's see what he gets. Uh-oh. So nothing here. If it was the last room, he actually would have gotten a dark stone because of the special rules in that room. But, again, we're not doing anything with XP until I play a campaign. But Emerging Darkness. Sometimes when you look too deeply into the shadows start looking back. Draw 1 darkness card. Oof. So let's go ahead and draw 1. I gotta look at it and see what that other one did again. I totally forgot what the rules were for that. Eyes in the dark. Anytime a hero recovers 1 or more grit, they also take 1 corruption hit. That's awful. Okay, so anytime I get a grit back, recovers 1 or more grit, they take. That's just plain mean. So we'll put that to the side. Sorry, that's the wrong button. What does this one do again? That is for each wound a hero currently has on, immediately takes another. So Cold Death is not. That's a remain in play. Cold Death only happened during that turn, so that is gone. Yeah. So we're just. This one remains in play for the rest of the game. Yeesh. Nice job, Prospector. You finally passed some scavenge, and that's what you got. So that's the end of the round. We're going to go on to hold back the darkness test. Hold on, we are 1, 2, 3 rooms in. I need to remind myself to do this. So we went down 1, and we're still at 7+. So again, the Prospector lifts his lantern, and once again flips off the shadow, the darkness trying to escape the dungeon. So we're good. So beginning of the turn, we're back at the Outlaw. I'm going to have him march up to the door. We'll go ahead and get rid of this room. Keep these tokens to show that we've got the 2 clues. Get rid of this. In this room, because I want to make room on the board. I only have so much play area. But it's good that we finally found a portal. So I had him move up. He doesn't need to do his grit because he's at max. We'll just kind of reposition this here for now. And he's going to peer through the door, and what he finds is a frozen path. And I'll go find that. Give me 1 second. It's in the base core box. Here it is. So we'll go ahead and place that there. And we'll put another exploration token. I'm hoping that this is the final clue. It'd be nice to get into a boss fight in this one. Although we did get into a boss fight in the first game and somehow managed to win. He peered through, he did that. He got the exploration token. Now it's the Enforcer. The Enforcer's going to go ahead and move on up. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I want him going that far in. Yeah, I think that's good. And then he'll do a scavenge in that room. He doesn't need to do grit because he's at max. But I'll have him scavenge. And he's an Enforcer with Mercenary, so he gets 1 additional die on his scavenge. Finds nothing. It's the end of his turn. I'll go with the Prospector next. And he's going to roll for his grit. He desperately needs it. He doesn't get it. Do I have anything that lets me get it back? Can't use guns. And oh well. He's just gonna go move on up. 2, 3, and I'll put him in front of the outlaw. Get both of the melee guys in the front, which would make sense because I have the hunch we're gonna be fighting the boss in this room. And he's gonna do a scavenge as well. And he fails. So he finds nothing in this room, and we now move on to the exploration. And we found it. We found the final clue, so therefore we've finished the mission. Well, kind of finished the mission. We now have to fight a boss, which is going to be a high threat boss, or a high threat enemy. Let's see if I can find it here. And we're going to be fighting a Monster 1. Actually, I forgot it's one of these universal cards. And we're fighting a high threat. Oh! Oh, no. Oh, no. Moose, if you're watching, man, you remember this. I'm pretty sure you still have PTSD after fighting these guys. Oh, that's horrible. 6 of them! Every time I fought these guys, we just never won. They move around too fast. They do too much damage. They get multiple attacks. I think they get... Let me pull up their card. I'll show you what they do. They're pretty nasty. Why am I constantly getting these? There's all these monsters in the game, and I keep getting the freaking laser pterodactyls. I'm sorry, I call them laser pterodactyls. That's exactly what they are. Stupid Ravagers. They suck. Sataris Ravagers. Let me pull up their card. That is, in fact, Medarts, a pterodactyl with a gun. That's why I call them laser pterodactyls, because they have laser guns, and they're awful. They're from the last Kickstarter that came out, and I've never fought 6. I've always fought 3 or 4, but 6 of them. This is just... I might just be like, you know what? Darkness can come out of this dungeon and just ravage the countryside for all I care. I'm taking my stone and I'm leaving. I might actually just do that because... And I'm also rolling... Well, you know, I want to see what the other threat is because it's 6 of them and a low threat card. Stupid random threats. Alright, so it's the Sataris Ravagers. Hold on, I spelled it wrong. And should bring them up. There we go. So we go ahead and move that threat card so we can see how bad these guys are. Do they get Snapfire? They get Snapfire. So what Snapfire does, they don't ambush, do they? No, they're just a regular attack. So Snapfire, they start far away from us. They fire their guns, come up, attack us with combat hits. So they do their range. They move up on us, and they're fast enough to go anywhere on the map. As you can see, their movement is a freaking 9. So they come running, they shoot at us, they run up to us, hit us with their melee, which is a 2 combat at 4 damage a pop. Then they haul ass back. But they do have to make an escape test in order to get away, and I think it's a 4+ to do that. Oh, but they're Snapfire Masters, so let's see what that does. But first, their range attacks are 3 shots at 2 damage a pop. So 6 of them firing 3 attacks each at 2 damage a hit. Yeah, we're gonna die. At range 14, so we can be in the other room, they'd still be hitting us. Uh, if we're not hiding. Agile Dodge. If the model's initiative is higher than the attackers, which of course they are, because we're all 3s and 2s, is higher than the attackers, prevent 2 damage from each hit. And their defense 4. We're not gonna win this battle. There's just it's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna pull out on this. But they have flight, so they can move through models. Yeah, these guys are just awful, and their range is a 3+, so more than half the dice are gonna hit, and their melee's good too. Not much health though. But still trying to get through 3 defense, and on top of that, removing 2 damage. If I rolled this, I'd have to roll a 6 to do a damage. I'd have to roll a 6 to do a damage. Now, granted, Mighty Prospector does have his mighty heavy pickaxe, which is a D8 instead of a D6. But he hasn't been rolling well. And then the Enforcer is rolling D6s, but he has chances of dealing double damage. Oh, but they are +1 damage. So I basically would have to roll 5s with these two. The Outlaw is not going to do much. He doesn't get crit rules while dual wielding his weapons. Oh, but he does have his shotgun. Okay. I am debating that I might actually try this. Matt Arch, what do you think, man? I'm gonna leave this up to you. Should I battle them or should I run like hell? Because another thing too is I haven't actually revealed the next enemy card. So let me go ahead and hide this monster, and we'll reveal the next monster. And it's a low threat is what it requires. Please don't be more of them. Oof. A fallen sorcerer. I'm not sure what they do. I don't know if that's actually an in-game monster or if it's... I hate running from an enemy to Mad Art, but my experience with these guys, I have lost both fights. Yeah, both fights. And in a bad way, like a demoralizing way. But let me see what I can find out on the Fallen Sorcerer. I might have to draw another card because I think that might be a... Yeah, I kind of had the hunch. So, this card is for a part of the game where you're fighting basically like the corrupt versions of the hero characters. I need to look more into that first before I actually do anything with it. So I'm going to go ahead and just re-roll that card. Okay. Yeah. Takobaki Spearmen. Okay. I don't think this fight's looking good. So it's the Takobaki Spearmen. There they are. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this guy out. My phrasing is just not great right now. I'm so sorry. And these guys were in the second Kickstarter for the Feudal Village and the Forbidden Fortress and everything. I mean, I hate to run away. Trauma is a good. Reason. Warning: stream is being buggy and kicking people here and there. Really? Oh, twitches. Okay. So it's just being buggy. Is it a content thing or is it just like connection thing? When do we get the Takobaki spearmen? Oh yeah, how many of them did it want us to pull out? I need to click on the screen. Hold on a second. D3 plus 1. So half of my D6 roll. So 3 are showing up. Oh, okay. Well, it's the internet, man. I mean, there's. That's, eh. I had something for it, but my mind just went blank. So we got 3 Takobaki spearmen that are going to come out, and 6 of those damn pterodactyls. Well, everybody has dynamite, and that ignores defense. I'm just gonna be. Oh, but they're all gonna go before me. Each and every one of them is gonna go before me. Oh, this is bad. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just have the fight. Probably gonna lose, but it'll be fun. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get the models. I need 3 Takobaki spearmen and all 6 of the Ravagers. Those jackasses. There's an awful lot of models in this game. Hoping one day organize all of them. Not the spearmen. Yep. Really want to put them someplace else. Easy to break these things. Oops. Tear that loose. All right, as I was saying, it's the entire flipping group of those stupid pterodactyls. God, I hate those guys. Takobaki spearmen seem kind of normal, but these guys just. I mean, the nice thing is that they don't have much damage. I mean, have much health on them. So, how positioning works is that you start at the farmost corner and then checkerboard pattern running across. So, one there, one here, and then, whoops. So much detail on these guys. hard to grab anything because it's like, I could easily break some of these pieces off and how thin they are. Oh, there he is. And then I guess the Takobaki and laser pterodactyls are teaming up. It's not looking good. But I could throw some dynamite, potentially kill them, because it ignores defense. That's what I'm gunning for. But by the time I get to throw the dynamite, they're going to be on us. Or at least the Takobaki are going to be on us. They might actually take us down. And I have one revive. I don't have two like I did yesterday. Or the day before. So we went through 2, 3, 4 rooms. We should be down one more. There we go. And so we don't have to do anything else with that exploration token because we found the final clue. We're here. Now it's just hold back the darkness test. Which we still should be at a 7+, yeah. And once again, the prospector is going to go ahead and raise his lantern to try to hold back the darkness from coming out further. And he failed. That's not good. So the darkness comes up, and we have to draw another darkness card. So let's see what we get. I just need to see what this guy does again. Oof. In the grip of darkness. I don't know what that means. The icon. Is that... I think that's on a depth event. Well, anyway. When drawn, each hero must exhaust D3 items they have with a once per ability. While in play, exhausted items may not be readied. How's gone fishing? Gone fishing was it's fun. It is terrifying. It's kind of hilarious in that way that just random things happen out of nowhere. But it is still, it shows that it's in early access because it was extremely buggy on my end. But then again, Moose was hosting. We all know how well his internet does when hosting. Um, but I was lagging all over the place. Uh, I was constantly being caught on things and stuff. It's a cool game. I can see it being a lot of fun, a really good time with 4 player. Uh, but I'm sure like a couple months from now it'll be like better polished. So this ain't looking good. So first things first, the Sitaris Ravagers are going to go first. They're going to do their snapfire. So I have to. Luckily, there's 6 of them, so it's going to be 2 on one guy, 2 on another, and 2 on another. Ugh. So what's going to happen is, let me get the snapfire card because I know they have to make an escape test. They have to make an escape test after they do their melee. I want to say it's a 3 or a 4+. Okay, the rules for the characters. Shoot out snapfire. Yeah, they make their... That's when they're ambushing. They're not ambushing. They have to make 3 pluses. So what they do is they put snapfire markers on every character that they're going after. I'm just gonna say, I need to start marking these guys then. Like put A, B, C, D, and whatnot on them to demonstrate who's who, or 1 through whatever the maximum number there are. because this is going to get a little difficult. But I'm going to say these two are on the Prospector, these two are on, or this one and this one at the ends are after the Enforcer, and then these two are going after the Outlaw. So we'll just go ahead and they have a 9 movement, I believe. That's a remain in play card, right? So I'll just go ahead and hide that. Whoops. Wait, when drawn, each hero must exhaust once per. Are you kidding me? I think I just exhausted all my once per. Yep, per adventure stuff, because they all have 1. And it's D3, so. Wow, man, Darkness just screwed me over. Because I don't get my bandana anymore. I don't get the tattoo ability, which allows me to fully heal my guy. And I don't get my Miner's Canteen that lets me heal wounds and sanity. Fun. Alright. Does it remain in play? While in play, exhausted items may not be readied. Damn. How does it go away? I'm guessing like later on probably something tells you to remove darkness cards or something, or the end of adventure. That really crippled me. But we're going to play this out just the same. Well, we're going to be seeing some injuries, mutations, and some mental issues come out of these guys by the end of this adventure. So first things first, the Ravagers are going to move in and do their thing. Let me go ahead and pull their card up. Let me see if I can find a better position, because I'm going to have to keep those cards up on the screen. Probably this way you can. Come on, Tony. You can do this. Alright, there we go. So, I guess I could have moved the camera too, but either way. So these guys first are going to shoot at the Prospector. And they're going to be using their blaster rifles with 3 shots. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll all of them. So 6 shots against them. Not a good roll. But he did make 2 of those shots a hit. But let's see if the Prospector can avoid those with his 4+. So 2 of those hits turn into 2 evades. He evaded the. He managed to take those hits. So then they fly on in as their brothers in arms ready their attacks. So these 2 at the end. This one here, I guess it really doesn't matter. They have 9 speed, so we'll just say these guys go after the Outlaw. And again, well, before that they were supposed to shoot, so 66. And they have a 3+ on their range. They managed to get 4 hits. The Outlaw has a 4+ on his defense roll, so let's see if he gets that. So 4 hits, 4 defense rolls. He takes 3 hits at 2 damage pop. He just took 6 damage. He's at half health. Yeah, so far the Outlaw, as awesome as his twin pistols are, he hasn't been doing anything. He's actually just been good at looking through doors and making everybody else do the work. Then the other 2 are going to surround the Enforcer. And again, they're going to make 6 attacks on the Enforcer. Oh, God. I'm pretty sure they just made... Yes, they made 4 of them. And the Enforcer is going to... It's over there, I don't need it anymore. He's gonna need. Oh, he's got a 3+ for a defense. Not great on sanity, but his defense is really good. So a 3+. So he needs to make 4 3+s. Whoops. Statistically, not good, but he takes 3 of those hits at 2 damage pop. So yeah, he takes also 6 points damage. That's not good for him. See, if I could use the tattoo or the once per items that I have, I could just heal this stuff up and beat the living hell out of him this turn. Next, they're going to make their hit and run attack. So their melee, and their melee's pretty nasty. Although they only have 4+ on their melee, they do get 2 combat. 2+ for hit and run, free moves and stuff. Are you serious? So, oh wow. Dude, yeah, those things are freaking nasty. Madarts, just reading the Snapfire Masters rule, they just went from a melee 4+ to a melee 2+. They're gonna kill the Outlaw and the Enforcer for sure. Because, well, they're only making 2 combat hits. Let's just see what they do. Let's just hope they keep rolling 1s. Because all they need are 2+. So, the first 2 that went after the Prospector, they're going to do their hit and run on him. Of course. But he still gets his defense of 4+. Let's see how well he does. He takes 1 at 4 damage. Oh my god. You know, I got health markers. Why am I doing this? Bought these things a long time ago. I don't know why I'm not using them. So he has 6 wounds. They're a little bit on the loose side. That's probably why. And he has 6 wounds. And he now has 4 wounds. That makes this so much easier. Oh my god. So, continuing on. Was that just 1? I just rolled for 1, didn't I? So I need to make the other roll for the other guy. At 2+, he gets it. Again, takes another 4 wounds. How do you survive these guys? Now the Outlaw is about to get his ass kicked. We'll do the escape tests after they're all done. And see who manages to get out of the fight. I guess that's the good thing about holding them down, is that when they're stuck there, they don't get that hit and run, that Snapfire Master. I don't even think they get Snapfire because now they're in melee range, so they shouldn't be able to use Snapfire. So holding them down is putting them in a corner and holding them down is important, is what I'm seeing here, which is hard to do because you got to survive them the first round because their initiative is too damn high. So these 2 guys are hitting on the Outlaw. So 3 of them hit. The Outlaw needs to make 3 at 4+. Might be dead. Takes 4 damage. He's still good. I might just have them all just drop dynamite at their feet. I think you're not supposed to survive just trauma. Yeah. Yeah. That's Shadows of Brimstone, though, bro. Like, I mean, actually, kind of what makes the game fun is that your characters technically don't die unless specific rules are met. Like, getting 2 of the same mutation, or if there's a card that comes up, or an ability on a monster that just straight up says it kills your character's dead. For the most part, you're just incapacitated. You're pulled out of the dungeon, and whatever you lost the most out of, like let's say your health was the one that dropped to 0, or your sanity dropped down to 0, or your corruption dropped down to 0. Whatever one of those went down to 0 is what you get unless you have a revive token, you get a injury or a madness or a mutation. As I've been saying over and over and over again, you can get a Roquado or an extra arm, or for example, the Prospector and his melted nose. Uh, so he is down. He's only got 2 health left, and now their other 2 are going to go after the Enforcer, who's not doing well. But I do have 1 revive token left. There, he's going to make his 4 attacks on the Enforcer. All of them hit. All I knew was 3 pluses on the Enforcer, so he does take it. But it just so happens to be enough to drop the Enforcer, because the Enforcer only has 10 health. He had 6 health damage on him, and of course this just drops him down to 4, so he's down. But the revive token instantly brings him back. And that's it. I have no more revive token. Now these guys are going to do their escape tests. So I got these 3 here and these 3 here. This guy's first. And they need to make... It was 3 pluses. So he needs to make a 3 plus to move away. And he moves all the way to the corner. Actually, he moves the furthest away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But still in line of sight. This one does his. He doesn't. He gets locked down. This one here. He makes it. Still in line of sight of his target. He moves back because he goes 4. This one in the back here. He makes it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy here. Is that a 3? He makes it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this guy here next to the revived Enforcer. Did it just roll twice? 4, he made it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So most of them scattered. And now we get the Takobaki that are about to fight. So let's go ahead and put this card away and bring this one up. Luckily, they're not getting any elite abilities. So they're... Okay, so they have armor. That sucks. Dynamite might not work as well as I'm hoping. They do have regeneration. Heals 2 wounds at the start of each turn. That sucks. I make melee attacks against a target up to 3 spaces away. 3 spaces away? Oh god, they have crit rules too. So they could deal 4 damage on a roll of 6. Well, either way, they're, again, random rules. There's 3 of them. I'm just going to say this guy's going after the Prospector. This guy's going after the Enforcer. This guy, he can attack 3 spaces away, so yeah, he's still going to go after the Outlaw. So this guy's going to move on in. Actually, this guy's going to move on in. He can't attack there. So he's going to go here and attack the Enforcer. This guy's going to move here and attack 3 spaces away the Outlaw. Nope, here we go. So this guy going after the Prospector makes 3 rolls, right? 3 combat. Yep. At what? 4 plus? He gets 2 hits. And the prospector now has to make 2 defense rolls of his 4+. He gets 1 hit. There's no crits or anything, so it just does the 2 damage. So prospector is not feeling really good. Again, I can't use any of my abilities because of that darkness card. Next, this guy is going to attack the enforcer. So again, that's 3 combat attacks. That's 1 hit. The enforcer needs to make a 1d6 defense. At 3+, he survives it. And then finally, this guy is attacking the outlaw, and the outlaw, and he's going to roll 2d6. I don't think he made any one of those. Nope, we're good. So that was the Takobaki's turn. Now we're going to see if some dynamite will take these guys out. Or maybe the shotgun. The nice thing about the shotgun is that it will deal, let's see, on critical hits. If I can manage to get a critical hit with the outlaw, I can at least do 1 damage to everybody, but I just want to throw some dynamite. I want to see things explode. So that's what I'm going to do. So, first things first, the outlaws first. We're out of the room that was giving us the negative initiative debuff. So I'm back at a 3. Normally he's a 4, but last campaign he got an injury because he died at the end of the in the 3rd room. So he had like some type of scarring that dropped his initiative down. So, but he still gets to go before these 2 because they're a 2 initiative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him take his dynamite and lob it at a specific spot. And I will grab the rules for the dynamite here in a second. But it's pretty easy. They could deviate if I don't make the ranged dice roll. And it could come back to us. It's happened before. It's always happened before. But let me see if I can find my dynamite rules. There we go. So, dynamite. Discard a dynamite token. Each one of them have a dynamite token. That's what I chose as their bag item. When you create a character, you get 1 free bag item, and dynamite's part of it. And dynamite's always been just a really good go-to when you want to take something down that doesn't have any, that has a lot of defense, because it ignores defense when it goes off. Which means, again, if it backfires and lands on us, we could be taking up to 6 damage just straight. But it doesn't ignore armor, though. At least I don't think so. So dynamite token, discard to make a range attack. So the range of the attack is strength +3. So the outlaw strength is 2. So I have 5 spaces that I can throw this dynamite at, and I'm going to throw it right at the Takobaki guy right here. And what it does is it affects that spot and all the adjacent spots around it. So yeah, it's good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make a range roll against this. And I haven't done it yet with this guy. But his range should be good. No, it's terrible. Oh, God. Should I just use the pistols? What's their defense? 3. I can't get crits with dual wielding a weapon. They don't have much health, though. I am half tempted to just go with the pistols, but I did that yesterday and I just kept failing. But I get more shots. And I could roll really piss poor on the damage on the dynamite. You know what? I like to live dangerously. I'm throwing the dynamite. So he's going to lob it right at this guy. So let's hope that I make a 5+ roll on my ranged. Good luck, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and use a grit and re-roll that, because I don't want it to deviate. Please be a 5 or a 6. God. Okay. So if missed the 2-hit roll, it bounces D3 times before exploding. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's pointing this way. So let us roll and see how it deviates. I need to roll D3. So how many spaces does it deviate? Is that a 5? 3. Are you kidding me? So it deviates to 3 spaces. First, I'll just use this, and we'll just say it's on this guy. Is it a D8? It's a D8. Give me 1 second. Goes to 4, so it deviates to this space. Then 2 more spaces. 2. You kidding me? Please go back. Please be a 5. And 2, so it just bumps up against the wall. So it only affects this guy. And the damage it does is 4 points of damage, ignoring defense. That's a dead Takobaki spearman. Oh, nope. He has armor 5+. So that means that he gets to make armor saves against every one of those wounds. So 4 armor saves at D6. And what are they, 5 pluses? He is at 1 health. Isn't that typical? Just when you think you got him, the outlaw just misses every shot. I should have just gone with the pistols like I was thinking. But anyway, we're going to go to the... Who's next? The Enforcer or the Prospector? How much more damage can I do? You know what? Like I said, I'm going to start dropping dynamite. So we'll just go to the Enforcer. And the Enforcer has also terrible range. Oh, I need to roll... Well, he's at max grit, so I can't really roll for grit. So I'm going to go ahead... They're all terrible at range. How is the Outlaw bad at range? So the Enforcer is going to drop dynamite. Range at 5+ again. So let's see how this works out. Again, I'm going to choose this... this time I'm going to choose this guy. Right here. And I'm going to lob dynamite at him. Let's see if I make it. I have plenty of grit, so I can go ahead and re-roll it if I need to. And it's a crit. That is a good question. Does crit ignore armor? I think it just ignores defense. I want to say it ignores armor. It's something I'm gonna have to look up. But I think it just ignores defense. But I'm just gonna go ahead and go with that rule. It's awesome that it's a crit. I wish I rolled that for the damage. But I'm going to go ahead and roll for damage. And it is on all 4 of those guys. 5. The question is, does the... Let me take a look here for a second. The Sitaris Ravagers, do they have armor? Nope. They have a defense of 3. He's dead. So that Sitaris Warrior died. He couldn't escape the escape test, and because of that, he died. Thank God. That's one less of one of those pterodactyls. Next, these guys need to all make armor saves. I want to say crits go through armor, but I guess I'm gonna have to look that up. But for now, I'm just gonna treat it like the armors are not ignored. So we'll start with this guy. He gets 5 armor saves of 5+ against these. Oops. Of course. But he was down to 1 health, wasn't he? So he's dead. Now, normally I'd be jotting down the experience that this guy's been getting from all the dynamite murder that's been happening. But I'm not keeping track of XP till I decide to start doing a campaign, which might be next week. So this guy here has to make 5 armor saves as well. He saved 2, so he has 3 damage on him. Which, if I remember correctly, yeah, that brings him down to 1 health. So he's got 3 damage. And the next one, same thing. 5 hits. Also, down to 1 health. And they've been getting lucky. This is where I wish I would have had my pistols. Because I don't want to waste dynamite on these 2 guys. I might just have the prospector go over there and just kind of clip both of them. Instead of wasting dynamite. Or I could probably drop a dynamite over there. Would he be able to see it? Line of sight? Let me get a card here and see if I can get line of sight on these guys. No, it's intersecting this. I'd have to move him. I'd have to get an escape test, move over here, so I can spot them and drop a dynamite on those guys, because I would love to kill them. And I think I'm going to try that. So I'll first try an escape test. I need to make... So the Takobaki Spearmen, on top of the 2 hit rolls, you'll see like a space for movement and escape. I need a 3+ to escape these guys. Yeah, because I'm adjacent to them. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. Really? I forgot to do my grit test too, so let me see if I get my grit back. It's a 5. He's stuck there. But he can move adjacent to them. So he's going to move here, and he's going to whack them with 2 hits from his pickaxe. So, nice thing about the pickaxe is that it's a D8, not a D6. And crits are 6 pluses on these things. This weapon is amazing for boss, like epic boss fights, because you can do like some serious damage. You can do like 16 damage with this thing, level 1. Of course, minus defense and all that stuff. But I'll go ahead and do 2. Can you get crit, please? Just give me some crit, or grit. You know, I would love some grit. I want to re-roll some stuff. And he failed miserably with both attacks. That's frustrating. That is... Can I re-roll these in any way? Because, seriously, like, I'm looking at this and I'm like... I would be able to kill them just by hitting them. Just by hitting them. I've got nothing. I have no way to re-roll any of those. I have no way to heal myself because they got rid of all my once per turn stuff. Man. I think we just lost. We had a chance. I could have thrown dynamite at them, possibly killed them. And even with these 2 strikes, I should have been able to do something. Well, either way, I'm going to end his turn. And now it's the end of the initiative order. Whoops, let me go ahead and shrink these down here. I need to actually program this to shrink everything down every time I do initiative or hold back the darkness. So we'll bring this down. We're at 7+, hold back the darkness. And we failed. Luckily... Oh! I forgot. We had a Growing Dread card. So, time's end. Foretold by the ancient calendars and prophecies, the spiraling galactic cycle of the stars is nearing the end of its journey across the heavens. For the rest of the adventure, whenever darkness moves forward a space on the depth track, every hero takes 2 sanity damage. Not hits, damage, ignoring willpower. Well, luckily, Did we go forward? Yeah, we did. We failed. So everybody took 2 sanity damage, to which, please don't tell me. Okay. Outlaw ain't looking good at all. Not good at all. And you take sanity damage. And you take sanity damage. Things have gotten bad. So that's the end of the Hold Back the Darkness. We're now back at the beginning of the new round. Snapfire. Alright, so there's only 5 of them now, so I actually kind of have to randomize them. But it's really just going to go who's going to be first, who's going to be second, and then the very last character is only going to have 1 guy on him. You know what? I might just... Oh wait, they didn't change targets. If I remember correctly, I don't think Snapfire changes targets. Yeah, I think they still have the Snapfire tokens on them. So these 2 are still going after the Prospector. Wait, we killed the one that was there. That one was the one after the Prospector. So, this is why I wish I marked these guys now. I'm just going to go ahead and randomize. So, we'll just say these 2 are going after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 2 are going after the Enforcer. So these guys are going to be shooting at the Enforcer. And then doing their hit and run. These 2 are going after... Yeah, they're still in range of him. Could they go by him? Yes, they could. So these 2 are going after... What did they roll last time? A 5? If it was a 5, they're going after the Prospector. These 2 are going after the Enforcer. So we'll say these 2 are going after the Enforcer, these 2 are going after the Prospector, and that's going after the Outlaw. Here's hoping we survive. First things first, 2 shots from those guys. Or 3 shots from those guys. At the... So 6, we'll do 6 total. At the Prospector. Oh god. Oh, that's 5 hits. That's not fun. So, Prospector took 5 hits. Were there critical rules? I don't remember there being critical rules. No. So 5 hits. At... He needs to make a defense roll on each one of those. So 5, 4... He needs to roll 5d6. And let's hope for some 4 pluses. I think... The Prospector just died. How many damage do? They do 2 damage. Actual Dodger, Snapfire. Yep, so he took 4 damage. He's still alive. 1 more hit would have definitely taken him down. And then now we got these guys going after the Enforcer. Again, 6 attacks with their blasters. At range 3 plus. So that's 4 hits. The Enforcer needs to make 4d6 defense rolls. 3 plus is a good roll, though. And he makes all of them. Dude, the Enforcer is badass. And then the last one is going to make his 3 shots at the Outlaw. And all of them hit, as expected. The Outlaw needs to make 3 4 plus defense rolls, which he failed 2 of them. He is down, and for good this time, because we're out of revive tokens, unless I can get somebody over there to spend their turn to revive him. Which... Oh god. Yeah, this isn't going well. And it's not over yet. So, they move in on the Prospector. And they don't change targets until the end of the turn. So killed his target, and he's not moving close to him. So these guys are just going to move up to the Enforcer. And now they're going to do their hit and run. D&D bros, what's going on, guys? Is this Dustin, Devin, both? It's actually been doing all... The campaign's been doing all right. Ran into a boss fight against an enemy that I just absolutely hate fighting. It's in the new Kickstarter. Dust, what's up, bro? Yeah, it was going well up until this boss fight, because it required me to pull 2 different monster groups out of the game, and we're fighting these pterodactyl dudes. I call them laser pterodactyls, but yeah, they're Sitaris Ravagers. But they have this special rule called Snapfire, where they get to fire their blasters, which do a lot of damage, come in, attack you, do a hit and run, and then they just suck. They really suck. This is the 3rd time I've run into them, and they're just awful. Ask Mad Arts. He's been watching, and he's been saying it. They're terrible. Yes, they are a menace, Mad Arts. But anyway, back to it. Let's see. Let's watch as the Prospector and the Enforcer pretty much get destroyed. So they're going to be doing 2 combat, and since they're doing their hit and run, this is ridiculous. They're doing their hit and run. They're doing it on a 2+. So all they need is 2 pluses to hit these guys. So it's 2 and 2. So I'm just gonna roll them all. So the 2 are doing their 2 attacks against the Prospector. So that's 4 rolls of 2+. Oh God. Was there crit? No, it's the other guys that have crit rules. So that's 3 attacks. The Prospector now has to make 3 d6 defense rolls against these of 4+. He might go down. Yep, that's all it took. That is exactly all it took. So he only dodged 1. 2 hits happened, and they're dealing 4 damage a pop. They did 8 damage to the Prospector. He only had 1 health left. No, 2 health left. He is down. Next are the Sitaris Ravagers against the Enforcer. So they're going to do their 4 strikes. And they get 3. But all I need are 3 pluses against these guys. So 3 defense rolls of 3+. Let's see if this works. Shock Blazer, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Managed to dodge roll 2, but didn't 1, so they did 4 damage to him. Uh-oh. Okay, so... Enforcer is still alive, but I don't know how much longer, because he's got the Tabaki Warriors fighting him right now. I am doing good, buddy. How are you? Dude, doing great. Well, was doing great up until this fight. It's just been awful. I mean, actually, awful would have been a team wipe at the first turn, but I had the hunch I wasn't going to survive this because I fought these guys before, and it's awful. So I'm going to go ahead and hide these guys. We're going to bring up the Tabaki Spearmen, because now we're fighting them. And let's see what they've got again. They've got 3 combats at 2 damage a pop. And they do double damage on 6 pluses. Well, let's see what they do. He's getting... That's right, we killed one of them, so there's only 2 of them. And they both actually have reach, so they're both attacking him. Oh! First we need to do the escape tests. These guys, are they moving or not? This guy, the one right here in front of the Prospector, does escape. He does his 4 movement away. The other one, come on, he does not. The guy over here, he does, so he moves 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last guy next to the Enforcer. Yes, D&D bros, Samurai Squidmen. Uh, they're actually not that nasty. Like, not like the Sikaris Ravagers, but, I mean, they can still heal. Have I been doing that? They're fully healed. So, oh no, wait, no, they're not. They're at 1 health because they get 2 health per turn. So he's back at 1 damage, and that means he's also back at 1 damage. Yeah, these guys are pretty decent tanks, but I lobbed a dynamite at them. If I had rolled better, probably would have killed them. Actually, the thing that saved them is their armor saves. They get armor 5+, and that doesn't get ignored by dynamite, or at least I don't think so. I have to look that up again. Uh, but back to it. Did I roll to see if he escaped? I don't think so. He does not escape. He stays there, so he doesn't get his hit and run or his blaster shots next turn. But now we're going to these guys, the spearmen, and they're going to roll 3d6, and we gotta hope and pray we don't get crits. So the first guy right in front of the Enforcer is swinging his spear at him. Spear. He gets a crit. So that's 2. He needs to. Here's going to be the first attack defense roll. All I need are 3+. He gets it. So the Enforcer avoided that. And here's the crit. He avoided that as well. The second guy is also making his attacks. They're at what? 4+? So he only gets 1, and so the Enforcer is going to make a dodge roll on that one. Does not dodge it, but so he takes 2 points of damage. He is, in D&D rules, he's bloodied. So he ain't doing well. I wish I had my other tokens to show that these guys are down, but I'll just leave them there for now. So they all used their dynamite, right? Except for the Prospector. But the Prospector's down. So here we got the Enforcer. I don't think I'll be able to kill the... That's a +1 damage against medium size or smaller. Oh, I'm +2 health, so I'm actually at 12 health with this guy. So, what I'm gonna do... actually... He actually took no damage both times because he has endurance. The Enforcer has endurance, which basically lets him ignore 4 wounds from a single hit, and none of the attacks have actually gone through defense, so the Enforcer actually hasn't been taking any damage. I gotta read my cards. So, what I'm gonna do is... I wish I could pick up the dynamite, but I don't want to spend my turn picking up dynamite. So I'm gonna try to kill their defense 3. And what are the other guys? They're also a defense 3. They share the same defense and health. And I only get 2 combat. He's at full grit. I'm just going to go ahead and move in and do 2 combat strikes. So I'll just kind of... Oh, I'd have to do an escape test on this guy. So... we bring him back up. I need an escape 3+. So let me roll a 3+. Okay. Wow. I guess I'm just going to stay there, and I'm going to take a swing at these 2 guys. So 2d6 on my combat roll. All I need is a 3+. That is a crit and a hit. Love it. I'm going to do the crit on the Sitaris Warrior because crits don't ignore armor. So I'm going to use it on the Sitaris Warrior because he doesn't have any special rules. Um, so I get +1 to what I roll for the Outlaw Club. And since he's a medium size or smaller, I do get that bonus. So +1 to whatever I roll. I need a 3+ to kill him. Yeah, I need a 3+ to kill him. And I have grit, so I can re-roll if I need to. That's on the Sitarius Warrior. Got him. So, killed this Sitarius Warrior. And now the Enforcer is going to take a swing at the his final hit, which isn't a crit, on the Takobaki. And he's getting +1 on it. Uh, but the Takobaki gets armor saves. And he also gets his defense. How do I do this? So we'll just say it's -1 to what I -2 to what I roll. That's good enough for me. Although I kind of want to. If I re-roll it, I could roll a 1, 2, or 3. So I'll just stick with this. So he gets 2 wounds. Now he gets to make his armor saves against each wound. That's where armor against monsters sucks. He didn't make them. So he took 2 points of damage, but he's going to get them back because he has regeneration. At least I killed the Sitaris warrior. Or Sitaris, the pterodactyl, laser pterodactyl. We'll just call him that. I just like calling him that. So that's the end of the Enforcer's turn. We go down initiative, which I should have been doing from the start. Let me put away that card so I can actually see the screen. And now, once again, hold back the darkness. And roll. We failed. Oh god, growing dread. And he takes 2 sanity damage on top of all that. Because we went down. The darkness has been coming out. Or is it darkness or is it. Yeah, it's darkness. So every time the darkness goes up, which means I failed. Since I failed the darkness test, this card, this growing dread card, indicates that whenever that darkness darkness marker goes up, everybody takes sanity damage. So he just took 2 points of sanity damage. I'm getting to see where the Enforcer is very weak, and that is his sanity. And on top of that, we failed, so up we go. We get to draw another growing dread card. And since we're at the end, it actually gets revealed. The last gasp. Distracted by greed and war, humanity cannot conceive that its true fate will come, not at the hands of each other, but of the darkness that lies just below the surface of reality. During the next fight, or the current one, all enemies have +2 combat and +1 shot if they have a ranged attack. Alright. We're doomed. Although we were doomed from the start, but still, I'm pretty sure this is the last round. Wow, +2 combat. That's insane. So, at the beginning of the round, he heals 2. Right? It's 2. And, the Stars guys get to do their thing. They all can see him. So they're going to do their range attacks and then their hit and runs. But they're +1 on their range, so they get 4 shots instead of 3. We'll just say all 4 of them are attacking. So 4 shots, 16 attacks. I'm not even going to bother reading all those. Got 1, 2, and they're at what? 3+ range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 attacks managed to hit the Enforcer. So 11 dodge rolls at 3 plus. Definitely seeing some that he missed, but one, two, three. So he dodged everything but 3 attacks. That's really good. So he takes how much damage? So he takes 6 points of damage. Oh, but hold on, endurance. Oh, okay. Oh, then that would mean that he would have been at 4 damage. Because I forgot endurance is you don't take more than X amount of damage. So he would have been. Nope, he actually would have been at 6. So he took 6 points of damage. The Enforcer is dead. That's the end of that adventure. We failed. So that sucks because we actually made it here. But what happens here is that we pick ourselves up, tuck our tails between our legs, and run out of the dungeon after the monsters did whatever they wanted to do to us. And now we roll for every single one of them was taken down by health, so we now have to roll injuries. Every one of them has to roll an injury. And if any of them get a duplicate injury that they already have, like for example, the outlaw, they're dead. So let's go ahead and bring up the injury chart. Okay. If I remember correctly, where's the one that gives you -1 initiative? The chest wound. So he has a chest wound is what he's got. So first we'll go with the outlaw. We'll roll and see what he gets for an injury. That's flippin' hilarious. He just got a double injury. He got another chest wound. The outlaw is officially dead. That's funny. All right, so the enforcer gets a 7, which is concussion. Your ears are ringing a little and you have a headache that just won't quit. You are -1 initiative and roll 1 less dice on all skill tests. At the start of the next adventure, the injury is automatically removed. At the start of the next adventure. So I'm guessing that this only really does anything during the current adventure. So yeah, at the beginning, the next time we play, the enforcer's perfectly fine. So not a big deal there. That's actually a good roll. And we'll then look at the prospector. Ooh, that's not good. So he rolled a 3, which is it's the second worst thing on there. Because a 1 or a 2, you're straight up dead. But this is still really, really, really bad. Internal bleeding. Your condition is serious, wiping blood from your mouth. You assure everyone that you are fine. Any further injury chart rolls are only made on a single D6. This injury is -1 to the roll. Wait, hold on. This injury is -1 to the roll to heal during field surgery in camp. Oh, that's bad. So internal bleeding, huh? Wow. What's the saying in Cannibal the Musical? Well, can't get any worse for me. Look out for that bear trap. What? But anyway, wow. So that's the end of that adventure. It was actually a lot of fun, even though as expected, that final battle. I knew I should have just been like, let's pack up and go. But this is actually a lot more fun to see. Except for the fact that the outlaw is officially dead. I mean, he's got all this money on him, all this stuff on him, and he's dead. That sucks. So not only does this prospector now have internal bleeding, and this is screwing him over, and I need to get that fixed. He doesn't have much money. He's also got that, that mutation where his nose melted off. That was an interesting run this time around. But quite the blast. I might go ahead and add another character in when I get a little bit more room on this table, because I'm planning on getting like some TV trays and stuff. I want to spread this out a little bit more. I'm going to probably add one more character in this so that I can kind of playing. How do I put this? Kind of playing with a handicap 3-player, because all the rules change based on how many players are in here, and it's usually like in twos. So 2-player, up to 2-player, this is happening. Up to 3 to 4 player, this is happening. Then 4+, this is happening. So I'm gonna get one more character in on this. I don't know. I might get like a sorcerer or something. Maybe the preacher. Preacher's a really good class. Just really hard to play as because he has to make high rolls on his spells. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it there for now, and go full screen if I can. There we go. So just want to say thank you to everybody for showing up and watching the game. I hope you enjoyed some of it. I know that some moments, like I have to go digging through the books for rules, go over there running around looking for miniatures, but every step of the way, it's just fun to reveal these encounter cards and the map tiles and just reveal this weird story that's coming around. Hey, Shockblazer, big shout out to Shockblazer, the D&D Bros, and Mad Arts for showing up and hanging out. And again, to all you who showed up for this. I'm going to be probably taking a break tomorrow, but I think I'm doing a community night tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Playing video games. It is a fun story game. Yes, it is a fun story game. It gets much more in depth and more crazy the more worlds we go to. And then, of course, going to town stays and stuff adds more flavor to it, which I haven't done yet. I'm hoping next week I'll open up to that so I can show you all how town stays happen. Like, crazy things happen. Like I said before, there's like a whole deck for that, but there's also a depth chart for that. There's a charts for everything. And you have to roll on and see what happens. You go to a building, like you want to go to the blacksmith. Well, you got to roll and see what happens when you go to the blacksmith. Nothing could happen. Maybe you go into a fight with the blacksmith. Who knows? There's just a lot of things that happen. And then, of course, well, what really sucks, the outlaw died. And he was the only one that actually found some really amazing treasure. But this is going to be going to the group anyway. So I actually have an upgrade piece that if there's a blacksmith in town, which we failed, so chances are some of the buildings were destroyed when we go back to town. It's zooming in on me again. That's okay. I like the zoom function. See, it's pretty cool. But anyway, I want to go back to town and I want to spend this, and I want to put this guy on the Oh, you know what? To be honest with you, the Enforcer's been amazing. So I want to put it on the Enforcer's Club. If I can put that in the Enforcer's Club, that would be sweet. Where's the blacksmith? So the blacksmith is in the town stay. So what happens is that we go back to town. Well, first we do a travel phase in the game where everybody rolls. If we failed, we have to do more rolls. And we roll to see what happens on our way back to town. It could affect the town. It could affect the next adventure. And again, we're back at the point where crazy things are happening. Luckily, the outlaw died before the travel, so we don't have to worry about him rolling on the traveling part of the game. But these two guys still have to do the travel. So that means they have to roll on the travel chart. But what happens is, when we go back to town, all the stuff that happened on this adventure, failing it, and then, of course, the travel could affect the town. We could be destroying. We get a little chart out of the town, which I'll pull out. We'll have the camera on it. But we'll have the town, and we have to roll how many how many spaces are available, which buildings are put in those spaces. So we would roll from not roll. We would pull from basically a deck of tokens of different types of buildings. And I'm actually planning on adding that to the stream features, so that I don't have to actually pull like go digging around for tokens or digging around for anything. I want to build that in here because it's really just a small part of it. But we would have a chart that we put basically the buildings on, and then we have to roll which buildings are destroyed if we run into that. If we have succeeded in the mission, chances are all the buildings would still be up. But if I remember correctly, the rules for this specific mission, some of those buildings are going down. So we roll. First off, we roll to see what town we're going to, and there's different types of towns, which is really cool about this game, because there's an expansion pack that actually enhances the town, and there's different types of towns too. So if we were in the feudal, like let's say we were in the fortress, the Forbidden Fortress, or any of the expansions in the Forbidden Fortress part of the campaign, we would be going to a feudal village instead of an Old West town. If we were in the Mad Max themed area, the Blasted Waste, we'd be going to Barter Town instead of those two locations too. So there's like a whole mess of different things that you can go to. Like it's an adventure. But anyway, if we go to the feudal village or the Old West town, we actually have charts we have to roll to see what kind of town it is. So it could be a mining town, it could be a trading town, it could be a mutant town, it could be also a haunted town. Now, I haven't been to one of those, but I need to. This just makes me want to read all those rules and see how that works again because it's hilarious. And then on top of that, we see what happens in the town. Another thing too is that if the outlaw was still alive, I'd have to roll and see if he was noticed going into town, because if he's noticed, I either have to bribe somebody or I'm now walking around with a wanted token, meaning that anytime I go anywhere, I have to make rolls to see if uh, if I've been spotted and if I had to do a shootout or something. It's crazy. Uh, but that's not just outlaw. Like if you have the outlaw, like let's say I played as a character that's not an outlaw, but I got the outlaw keyword, that still applies. The prospector is still going to have to do something when he goes to town because, of course, his nose melted off from the Darkstone, which, again, I'm going to have to make those rolls. I just forgot about that. We now have... Because I'm pretty sure... You know what? I'm going to give that one Darkstone to the Enforcer. We have 7 Darkstone here. Oh, and we have that, and I'm going to be giving that to the Enforcer as well. We have 7 pieces of Darkstone here, and we have 3 pieces of Darkstone here because, of course, this is considered a piece of Darkstone. So we need to make those checks. I forgot about that. Let's do that now. So the prospector needs to make 7 checks. Yeah, I better do this before I close the stream. So this way I can kind of go back over it. He has to make 7d6 at 5+. Chances are he mutated again. One, two, three. Nope, not quite. He made 3 of those. But he has 4 corruption on him. We'll just put it on here. He has 4 corruption. So he didn't mutate. 1 more he would have mutated. The Enforcer needs to make 3d6 at 5+. He's got 2. I'll just keep that there for notes later. So he took 2 corruption points. He's 3 away from a mutation. Again, this guy's dead. But we'll say his money was given to the party. And we'll give it to the prospector. Because the prospector is going to upgrade his weapons and it costs stuff. So, anyway, back to it. We'll call it there for the day. And tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming or not. I'm thinking there might be a community night. I'm not sure. Where we're going to play, I don't know, maybe Repo or Murky Divers or Among Us or there's like another game we were talking about. But maybe or maybe not tomorrow night's a community night. If not, I got other cameras playing around again. And I might have other plans. We'll see what happens. But Saturday for sure, I am setting up and playing a big game of Shadows of Brimstone, and I'm gonna try to prepare myself to add the town stays. Might actually be where I pick up. I might just have these two guys go to the town, do their thing. The next adventure, no more outlaw. I'm gonna grab a new character, and I'm probably gonna create another character, unless I got some people who want to join in, and then we'll just pull some character sheet. We'll pull these character sheets out, and I'll just kind of have them displaying on that camera, or I'll pull them in and out on that camera so they can read the rules and everything. Let me turn on my background here. There we go, and get rid of those cards. But that's the goal. Eventually, I do want to do a campaign where people can come in and out. Like they can join. People can join in at any point. The rules for difficulty are based on player count. Unless we reach a certain level, then the brutal cards start coming out, and the brutal cards are pretty nasty. But I would like to either next week or the week after, like on a Saturday, start the campaign. I'm hoping I can get my buddy Tom in on this, and I'll just kind of have the camera panning a different angle. He'll be on one side, I'll be on the other, and it's gonna be a little bit difficult because there's not much playing room in here. But I mean, I might be able to make this section the playing room, and this section. Well, actually, we might be able to keep the way it is if I can get myself some tables, some TV trays. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Again, the sounds you're hearing in the background are from Syrinscape. I highly recommend using them if you play D&D or board games and you want some ambient sound just to make it interesting. I should have probably paid a little more attention and added the battle music and the battle sound effects. I just get too into this and I forget. So, my bad. It would have made things more intense. Like, for example, if I had done it, I could have been like, hey, we're now in a battle. I'd have to customize it, but I could have done this. Come on, I could have done this. And now we got battle music. Pretty cool, right? So, I highly recommend Syrinscape primarily because they just create a great ambience for background. I used it last year when I played D&D with the D&D bros, and it just adds a little extra flavor to your stream. But again, thank you very much for showing up. I'll see you maybe tomorrow, but definitely on Saturday. And you have yourself a great Thursday. And until then, I don't have a call out, so catch you later. I love you too, Matt Hurts.